Donovan, thank you for your warmth. We'll now take greetings from South Manchester, which will be offered by Senator Peter Murcott Bunting, Shadow Minister of Citizen Security and Productivity, and MP candidate for Manchester Southern, my former boss. The real boss, right?
Thank you, Trish. Distinguished panelists, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. It's my pleasure to bring greetings here this evening. We meet at a time in history when the objective deterioration in conditions in Manchester and Jamaica are evident. Now, some of you may not realize this, those of you who are better off, because if you listen just to the propaganda of the government, you would think everything is going well. Unfortunately, no, I'm good, thanks. Unfortunately, propaganda, misinformation, and lies can't go to the supermarket, can't go to the market, can't go to the grocery store. So the people of Jamaica, or the majority of the people of Jamaica, know that their objective conditions have deteriorated. Poor health care. Anyone who goes to Mandeville Regional can attest to that. Poor educational outcomes. Bad roads. And if anyone wants a tour, I can take them to some concentrated areas in South Manchester. Low investment. Net foreign direct investment in Jamaica today is less than a third of what it was when we left office in 2016. Declining productivity per worker. Since 2007, the productivity per worker for each worker in Jamaica has declined by about 21%, which is why we're stuck in the low skill, low wage gap that Julian Robinson often speaks about. This administration, this JLP administration, has been in power for 14 of the last 18 years. And it's interesting that they only want to talk about the 18 years that started in 1989. They don't really want to talk about the last 18 years for which they've been in office for 14. So we find them celebrating today the fact that the poverty rate was 8.2%. What people may forget is that in 2007, when they took office, the poverty rate was 9-point-something%. What happened when they took office in 2007, it rocketed to over 20%. And it didn't start declining till the PNP came back into office 2012 to 2016, and we gave them back on a declining trajectory. Now, they're trumpeting, or I should say they're ringing out the fact that they now have 8-point-something versus 9-point-something% poverty 18 years ago. But at that pace, ladies and gentlemen, it would take us over a century to eliminate poverty in Jamaica. They want to campaign on their success in crime. But what do the statistics show? More Jamaicans have been murdered in Andrew Holness's 2 terms than in any other 2 terms in the history of Jamaica. How can they call that a success? And perhaps for those who may be watching from overseas, the most embarrassing thing is that we now have the most corrupt regime in the history of Jamaica. the Prime Minister's integrity returns cannot be certified year after year. We have a Prime Minister under investigation for illicit enrichment, who in response takes the integrity strike down the very starves the Financial Investigation Division of Resources because a referral to investigate him was made to the FID. This is a regime that goes so low as to thief fertilizer from the peasant farmers. They thief Nutribun from school picnic. They will even steal money from the Bustamante Hospital with this outrageous overcharging by their cronies for a medical drill that is stealing money from sick children. How much lower can we go? And in fact, when Dr. Dawes, our spokesman on health, did his investigation, it emerges that there is a hidden owner of this company that's overcharging taxpayers for this medical drill. The company is actually controlled by someone referred to as A, the letter A. No, don't say Andrew. But until we learn who is the beneficial owner of that company, people will speculate. But ladies and gentlemen, this evening will give you hope. The People's National Party has a proven track record of performance. In this constituency of Central Manchester, when Kirkvine closed, we sought investors to replace Kirkvine, to get life after bauxite, and we brought Sutherland Global to Ward Avenue and to Northwest Manchester to employ thousands of young people. We built more schools. When I was MP in 2 terms, I built more schools in this one constituency than the JP has built in the entire Jamaica in the last 2 terms. So tonight you will hear from a team of proven performers, led by a man with clean hands and a pure heart. Someone I've known since he was in first form. He's been my friend, my business partner for 3 decades, and parliamentary colleague for nearly 2 decades. A man destined to be amongst the finest prime ministers this country has ever seen. I invite you this evening to listen carefully to our distinguished panel of presenters and to make notes of your questions, because you will hear of a powerful policy platform that is going to make Jamaica, indeed, Tricia, as you said, finally the place to live, work, raise family, and do business. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to listen to the policy platform of the team that will make Jamaica better. Thank you.